Platform exclusivity has been around since the early days of video games. Adventure was exclusive to the Atari 2600, and Super Mario Bros. Was exclusive to the NES. Console manufacturers always have and will continue to use games to bring players to their platform. But that's not the issue I am talking about today. A trend we are seeing in the gaming industry is the locking off of certain content on multi-platform games. Right now, Xbox and PC fans are rightfully upset about Spider-Man being a PlayStation exclusive character for the upcoming Avengers game. I will touch on this more in a bit, but to get started we need to travel back to 2008. On April 29, 2008, Grand Theft Auto 4 was released for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It was widely anticipated as it was the next-gen Grand Theft Auto that fans have been waiting for. It was received incredibly well and currently sits at a 98 on Metacritic with a user score of 7.9. Microsoft knew it would be a big success and partnered with Rockstar Games before its release. Peter Moore unveiled the game at E3 2006 and also announced that Xbox 360 players would get exclusive episodic DLC. Now you can see why I bring this up. PC and PS3 players were left out on story content. They waited 4 years for this game and they still wouldn't have all it had to offer. The only number I can find says Microsoft paid Rockstar Games $50 million for a year's worth of DLC exclusivity. This is an entirely anti-consumer practice and it doesn't stop there. Call of Duty is a franchise that is notorious for this. Starting in 2010, Microsoft and Activision signed a multi-year-long agreement to bring add-ons and map packs to the Xbox 360 before any other platform, starting with the Resurgence map pack for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and ending with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. That is 5 years of Xbox players getting what I believe was 30-day exclusivity. PlayStation fans would complain about that, but then the tables turned. Activision partnered with Sony to bring content to the PlayStation first. It started in 2015 with the release of Black Ops 3. In 2019, we saw the entire survival mode for Modern Warfare be exclusive to PlayStation for a full year. With Call of Duty having a yearly release cycle, that is a huge blow to Xbox and PC players. By the time they will get to play the survival mode, Call of Duty 2021 will already be out. Even Rockstar switched from Microsoft to PlayStation with the release of Red Dead Redemption 2. Certain online content was exclusive to PlayStation players for 30 days. You can see this issue has always been around and it always will be. As long as companies have money to throw around, they will try to get an advantage. All of the examples I've listed are incredibly anti-consumer and should not be defended by anyone. However, I will say none of them are as bad as the current situation with Crystal Dynamics and PlayStation. See, I told you I would come back to it, and I will even say it again for the people that didn't catch me the first time. Spider-Man is a PlayStation exclusive in the upcoming Avengers game. You know, the tiny little Marvel property that nobody really talks about. I have seen people defending this on the basis that Sony owns Spider-Man, but that's not true. Sony has the movie rights. Marvel still has the game and comic rights. But Insomniac Spider-Man was a PS4 exclusive, and yes, I will give you that, but Square Enix is creating their own take on Spider-Man with no connection to Insomniac. This is an anti-consumer practice through and through and should not be defended. In an interview with IGN Japan, Scott Amos, I believe, studio head for Crystal Dynamics, was asked how PC and Xbox gamers should feel about the exclusivity deal, and he replied with this. I would say that Marvel's Avengers has a lot of heroes, and with the scope and breadth of this game and this universe, players are going to have their hands full with a lot to play with. And as we've just announced with Hawkeye, there are more heroes to come. So this is an opportunity to celebrate uniquely for those players on PlayStation because of that relationship. But I think there's so much of a world for people to explore, I wouldn't look at that as a reason not to embrace it, that being the opportunity to add Spider-Man on PS4 and PS5. I would say look at all the stuff you get to play with. Now that's not great, but he managed to follow it up with something even worse. Scott then went on to say, and for those players who absolutely want to play as Spider-Man, you have the option to do so on PlayStation. This is almost as bad as the accept it or don't buy it situation around Battlefield 5. So if I were a Spider-Man fan, I would just be expected to go purchase a PS4 for a character? Many people are blinded by exclusive content, and they see it as pro-consumer if they are one of the ones that made a lucky console choice possibly years before this content was even announced. Because, who doesn't love extra added value? Well, the people that don't get it. PC and Xbox players are paying the same price for less content. Going back to the quote by Scott Amos, it doesn't matter how much content there is or how much you add post-launch if the end product will not be equal on all platforms. Platform exclusivity will never go away. It is such a large part of gaming and console wars culture. Fanboys love to argue about which platform has the best exclusives, and they always will. Exclusive games have a place in this industry. They help differentiate the consoles from one another and can help drive competition. If every console could play every game, we could see that lead to a lack of innovation due to the drop in competition between consoles. However, exclusive content in multi-platform games does not belong in this industry. It hurts consumers, and the only way it will change is if we all vote with our wallets and don't support these practices. Thank you for watching Input Source. I hope you enjoyed this different style of video. As always, please leave a like and subscribe. We're constantly working on more videos just like this one. If you want to keep up with us outside of YouTube, you can follow us over on Twitter. All links will be down in the description below. Keep your eye out because we do have another video coming out this week on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Once again, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.